Hey, welcome to the DPP channel, and it has been long. I'm excited to showcase this exciting game between the Beelzemon and the Red Hybrid. Now, Beelzemon got a huge boost with the advanced deck, introducing new and better cards for the entire Mew engine. On the other hand, Red Hybrid of course got boosted with consistency, introduced in BT12, of course with the new Kaiser Grey, and of course another Takuya Tamer. Now, which handsome deck is gonna take the W today? Let's dive in right together to the game itself, as we do see Pokemon coming down, and it has been so long since we've seen Pokemon coming into play again. And of course gonna pick up the Takuya and the Burning Greymon, adding both to hand. It's a very huge plus, and with the BT12 introducing another Takuya there, this is definitely going to be more consistent for the Red Hybrid deck. Now the Wizardmon is going to be pushed out for the right player, as he does have 3 renewal with, and it's going to evolve to the Balmon X antibody. Also introduced in BD12, it's going to be 3 cards, and he does have a lot of ability to proc. It's going to proc, of course, the Inmon starter deck first to kill off the Pokemon, rest in pieces, and we do hit the EX2 Inmon to mill additional 3 more cards. It's going to mill 3 more cards. Those are blanks though, but it's going to actually activate the Warring Shots to actually add it into the battle area. Now this is technically a Yamato. It's going to use the Wizardmon while attacking skill to actually put the EX2 Inmon on top as well. It's going to use the Inmon X antibody to actually mill 2. Does hit into the Wizardmon as well as the Inmon. It's going to mill additional 3 cards. We do see him actually hit to the Death Stinger, gaining 2 memory for this attack, and the Yamo actually mill 2 more and gaining 1 more memory thanks to the Wizardmon. Man, that's 3 memory from 1 attack. How is that actually balanced? But of course, it's definitely casino luck, as he does go for the Ayamako looking at top 4. And I must say, this new Ayamako Tamer is super legit. As you guys can see later in the video how it's going to be played, he's going to actually use the Beelzemon that he actually picked up through the Ayamako, evolving into it, and this allows him to actually mill 4. But of course, when he does evolve, he's going to use the Ayamako skill to actually put 1 card on the top of the deck to gain 1 memory out of nowhere. Does actually remember to gain it now. The Orange Shots will be activated here, and he does hit into the EX2 Inmon again. He's going to mill additional 3 more cards. He's going to hit into the Death Slinger, pushing into 2. And of course, he's going to actually counter Drop Zone first before actually declaring the Warring Shots, and looks like it doesn't really matter too much. So he's going to actually put the Warring Shots into play. He's going to gain 1 memory thanks to the Beelzemon effect. And of course, he does have the Takuya Tamer, so this won't matter too much. But imagine the left player doesn't have the Takuya that actually guaranteed 3 memory. The left player will only have 1 memory to work with this turn. Let's go to the Burning Greymon, which is newly introduced in BT12. Does gain plus 2 KDP, allowing him to actually swing for 10 KDP at the security here. It does actually hit into the Blast Mode, newly introduced in ST14, but it does actually gain 2 memory thanks to the new Takuya, because as long as you check a security similar to the War Greymon X, you do gain that memory. It does evolve to the Burning Greymon, mainly to Cycle. Gonna swing again at the security, hitting down to 3. Does hit into the Inmon so it doesn't die, so you're gonna actually play the new Flamemon, which on play allow you to draw 1 Red Hybrid to actually draw 2 cards. And he does pass the turn to 1 memory to right player, and honestly speaking, with 1 memory, even for the Beelzemon, 1 memory can be turned into plenty of memory if done right. It's going to swing with the Beelzemon using Inmon X antibody to actually mill 2, going to hit into the Warring Shots once again. Yamo hit into the Wizardmon, gaining 1 memory. It's going to actually use the Inmon to pop off that Flamemon, rest in pieces again. And he does actually gain 2 memory because there's actually 20 cards in the drop zone already. It does hit into 2 checks because of the new Beelzemon skill. Does hit into, of course, 1 Takuya, but however, it's going to use 2 Warring Shots here. Now the Warring Shots allow you to actually pick up 1 purple Digimon or Tamer from the drop zone, adding to hand. It's going to pick up the Beelzemon X antibody as well as the Blast Mode, and this will be lethal already, because when you do evolve to the X antibody, you do actually mill off your opponent's security for every 10 cards. So it does have 20, so the mill off 2 security there. It's going to evolve to the Beelzemon Blast Mode for just 1 cost, which allows you to restand and then swing for game. Now that was a very clean win from the Beelzemon player, because the mill was hitting so good and godly. Now with the left player actually be able to redeem the Red Hybrid this game, he's going to actually go for the Takuya turn 1, not the best of plays of course, because he does give 4 memory to right player, but it does guarantee 3 memory for the next turn. Now the Inmon is going to play down here in the nursery, and let's go for the Ayamako, which I must actually admit, Ayamako is such a beast of a tamer, as it allows you to search, which is definitely what Beelzemon was lacking for a long time, and now you do actually have the ability to actually stack up your top card of the deck and in gaining 1 memory as well. So this is definitely very welcome, as he does actually pass the turn immediately, even though he does have an Inmon X antibody to play it down, but you do need the discipline to actually just pass the turn. Now the Flamemon swing at security does die, and the Yokomo, which allow him to draw 1 card because he does have the Takuya Tamer in play. And the Flamemon will come down here looking at top 3, which allows you to pick up one Tamer as well as one Red Hybrid. It's going to pick up the Takuya as well as the Eldamon, adding both to hand, which is definitely a plus. It's going to actually evolve on top of the Takuya into the Burning Greymon for just 2 costs. Very interestingly, mainly to pass the turn, I imagine, as the Inmon X is being pushed out and just go for the Warring Shots. So it actually baited out the Warring Shots, which allow him to kill the highest level Digimon on the game, which is the Burning Greymon at that point, and it's going to pass 5 memory to the left player, which is definitely a lot. But however, it doesn't have any Tamer set up, so he can't actually abuse that memory as efficient, I can imagine. It's going to evolve to the Agumon first, which is newly introduced in BT12 as well. It's going to evolve into the Burning Greymon as well to actually kill off the Inmon X antibody, which is unfortunate for the right player. It's going to swing one check at the security, does it into the Iron Mako. Now with multiple Iron Makos on the field, you can imagine how godly the deck will become, because you can gain so much memory on evolve and stack a multiple bunch of cards on top of the deck. That's going to actually pass the turn with the Takuya play, and the Inmon will be hatched into the nursery once again. It's going to evolve to the Inmon X antibody, which he actually saved in the previous turns. Going to the Beelzemon as well. It does go for the Beelzemon X antibody here too, which does allow him to draw 1 because it's 0 cost evolution. It does go for the third Iron Mako, looking at top 4. Gonna pick up the Beelzemon, adding it to hand. Now with multiple Iron Makos on the field, the Beelzemon makes a lot of sense because you can actually gain much more memory, especially when you tag along with the Mill Engine as well as the Iron Mako. Now that's actually evolve to the Burning Greymon on top of the Takuya, does become a 10k DP champion, swinging at the security here, that's pushing it down to 2, that's hit into the Witchmon, which is definitely not gonna kill it, and does gain 2 memory thanks to the Takuya. It's gonna evolve to the Agumon, which does have a very strong on deletion effect, but looks like just gonna go cycle into the Burning Greymon with a 10k DP, or just 8k, my bad. So it's gonna swing at security for just 8k, and does hit into a Warring Shot, which allows him to actually kill off the Burning Greymon. But however, he does reconsider because all 3 Burning Greymons are on the same cost. So he does actually kill off the Burning Greymon which haven't attacked, which is a wise choice, but it does activate the Agumon, which allows him to actually play the Takuya for free, and thus pass the turn with just a 1 cost evolution on the Eldamon. Now will the right player be able to make a comeback with just 1 memory, as he does go to the Beelzemon first, but the Iron Mako is going to stack pretty quickly as he does gain 1 memory from one of them, the second memory from the second of them. He does actually go for the Beelzemon Mill, milling 2 Beelzemon. Of course, not surprising because E is the card that he put on top, but he does use into the EX2 Inmon, but unfortunately it does stop right there because you can't actually stack the Inmon Mill. It does go for the Beelzemon though, that's going to mill additional 4 cards, but it's going to use the Iron Mako once again, going to put 1 card on top and then gain 1 memory, and the Beelzemon will hit. Does he hit into the Blast Mode Corona? Oh man, that's a mouthful. He actually hit into 4 cards that actually procs effect, so it's going to hit into the Blast Mode first, which allows him to actually kill off a champion there, but of course the champion does have a lot of on deletion ESS. Firstly, it's going to be the Yokomon, secondly, it will be the Agumon, allowing to play a Takuya again, so you just have 2 Takuya on the field already without doing too much. The Beelzemon does gain a memory and does actually play a bunch of Warring Shots on his side of the field. The Beelzemon allows the Beelzemon to hit over the Eldamon even though the Eldamon was 12k DP. Now when he declared the attack on the Eldamon, he does have a bunch of ESS to proc on attacking, which allows him to mill 2 more cards for each, so he does actually mill a total of 6 cards. Now to end the turn, he does hard play the Beelzemon from the new ST. Now the Beelzemon and the Beelzemon does not have a restriction, and he can actually proc on both players' turns, so can you imagine you gaining memory during opponent's turn when he does declare a swing? But however, it's going to go for a Takuya evolution, allowing him to actually warp evolution to the Kaiser Greymon, putting a bunch of Inherit underneath it, and this allows him to just swing at the same turn because of the hybrid synergy. It's going to stack on top or rather below the Kaiser Greymon. It's going to kill off the Beelzemon, which is definitely an interesting choice. It's going to swing over the Beelzemon, but it does have the Beelzemon on deletion effect, which is gained in the previous turn, which allows him to actually play another Beelzemon, and this doesn't stop the left player from swinging over it, as the Flamemon does have piercing, allowing to pierce through the last security. It's going to use the last Takuya, and we know what's up. The old Kaiser Greymon is going to come down and end the game there with the Blitz ability, even though the turn has been passed, and this is a very clean 1-1. Now going to move on to game 3 here, and we shall take the W here as the Inmon does evolve in the nursery, which is definitely the most, I would say, important Inmon to evolve up, because the EX2 Inmon is definitely a card you want to save in your hand to mill further into your deck. It does end the turn by evolving to the Beelzemon, and the left player does go for the Flamemon here, the nursery, as he does go for the Takuya to just pass the turn. Not too much happening here, but the Beelzemon will be pushed out. The right player does go for the Beelzemon X antibody, which allows you to gain blocker for this turn. Not too much, much, but it does go for the Beelzemon X antibody, which allows you to start milling 3 cards here. It does mill into the Wizardmon, which allows him to gain 1 memory, and does hit into the Warring Shots, which allow him to play into the battle area for future turns, and it will be very crucial. The left player does go for the Flamemon here. The Flamemon allows you to look at top 3, does see a Takuya as well as another Flamemon. Gonna add both to hand, but not too much has been happening. Very surprisingly, he didn't push out the Inmon or rather Flamemon out to actually swing as security, being aggressive like what Red Hybrid always do. He's gonna play safe here. Right player is gonna go for the Beelzemon already. Man, this guy is definitely racking up the trash as he does go for the Mew 4, does into the Wizardmon once again and the Warring Shots. Does gain 1 memory and it's gonna play the Warring Shots, I believe. No, he's actually gonna just leave it in a drop zone because you do want to hit your 20 drop zone count as soon as possible. Now the Flamemon is finally pushed out, it's gonna swing as security, does hit into the Inmon, so it does survive with its 3 KTP. Does go to the Flamemon though, which allows you to drop a Red Hybrid and draw 2 cards. But however, with the ST Inmon ability in the ESS, the Beelzemon is definitely having the control of his life. Just swing at the Flamemon using the Wizardmon ability to put the Death Slinger on top, does mill 2 thanks to the Wizardmon X antibody, does gain a memory thanks to the Death Slinger, and does actually activate the Inmon to blow up the other Flamemon. It's gonna mill additional 4 cards here thanks to the Yamon as well as the Inmon X antibody, does hit into another Death Slinger, pushing him back to 4 memory already. And let's not forget that the Beelzemon does gain you additional memory for every 10 cards. Every time you mill a card, so it does gain to 5 memory out of nowhere. As it does go for the Ayamako looking at top 4, it's gonna add more consistency, or rather finding the game winning pieces. It's gonna add the EX2 Inmon, adding it to hand. But the EX2 Inmon is definitely a card to accelerate you to the 20 drop zone as soon as possible, but it's going to actually evolve into the nursery there, which is definitely interesting as it does go for the last Ayamako here to actually pass the turn, looking at top 4, and we will see him actually pick up another EX2 Inmon because we still want to prioritize hitting to the 20 drop zone. Now you guys must be wondering why we want the 20 drop zone so much, because of the Beelzemon Blast Moon ability, which allows you to evolve for just 1 cost if you do have 20 or more drop zone. And definitely that card allows you to swing for game if you guys actually remember in game 1. Now the left player does go for the Demon, allowing you to play the Takuya, but that's about it. Now this game is definitely in the Beelzemon's tempo as he does go for the security swing here. Gonna use the Wizardmon to put the EX2 Inmon on top. It's gonna mill thanks to the ESS on attacking skill. Gonna mill additional 3 cards here. And he shall actually decide whether he want to add into the drop zone or add into the battle area. So it's counting, and he does actually decide to put to the battle area because he's confident he's going to hit to the 20 drop zone regardless. Does actually mill additional cards. Does hit into the EX2 Inmon again, he's going to mill additional 3 more cards. He does hit into the Blast Mode here, but however he's going to use the Inmon ST ability to actually just blow up the Demon, rest in pieces. It's going to actually gain 2 memory because he does have 20 drop zone ready. He's going to 2-check the security, does hit into the Takuya, a second Takuya. So if the opponent, or rather the Beelzemon, doesn't end the game here, he's gonna actually eat a bunch of Takuyas. We do see 4 Takuyas on the field, but looks like he does have the winning pieces as he does go to the Beelzemon X antibody, milling that last 2 security and then going for the Warring Shots to the Blast Mode to go for game. Man, that was so unexpected because the left player does have 4 security to work with and the Beelzemon took it cleanly. Now this is the Beelzemon deck list if you guys are interested in. Well, this is the Red Hybrid deck list if you guys are interested as well. Now, thank you guys for watching till the end, and do consider subscribing, dropping a like and a comment if you guys do enjoy the content.